this year, we have codenamed this event The Role of the School Leader, Connecting Curriculum, Pedagogy, and Learning Experience. Alternatively, Connecting Curriculum, Pedagogy, and Learning Experience, the Role of a Facilitator, is the theme for this year's conference. Next on my list is a speech by our own General Manager of NNF Esquire, one man I have a lot of respect for. He's going to talk to us on the features and benefits of the resources that we use in teaching our children, or the resources available, and what we seek to add to it. Elvis is readily available.
Thank you very much, Prosper. Good morning once again. All protocols observed. I am here to do a simple task to expose all of us to the key features and benefits of our resources. So school leaders gathered here, school owners, and our online participants. The theme for today's conference is Connecting Curriculum, Pedagogy, Learning Experience, the Role of the Facilitator. So why am I exposing us to our resources? Curriculum, as the standard base requires, he says, why is it a standard-based curriculum? It is standard-based because it tells us what to teach, how to teach, and how to assess. So what are we to teach? He's looking at the subject areas, how to teach, that is how to go through the lessons, and then how to do the assessments. And then pedagogy talks about the skills teachers need to go through the lessons in the classroom. So I'm going to expose us to what we have for the learners, what we have for our teachers. And then when I finish, my marketing manager will take us through another aspect of the team that is going to look at the classroom management. So please, kindly sit down and follow me through this presentation. Online participants, if you're in your classrooms, wherever you are, please, those who are using our resources, I will indulge you. Pick one of the teacher's guides if you have it, one of the learner's book and the workbook, and when we get there, I'll ask you to do some references based on what I'm going to take us through today. So NNF Esquire Limited, together with Cambridge University Press, are producers of cutting-edge resources. We also provide support to GNAPS, as we are doing today. We have capacity building training for our facilitators. This capacity training that we offer the facilitators put them on their toes for lessons to be run in the classroom, and also prepares the learners to gain knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values, as well as ethics that they need to be successful learners and affect our society. NNF Esquire Limited offer learner-friendly learners books. We also have competency-based workbooks and free facilitators guides. Please take note of this. Free facilitators guides. You can visit nnfesquire.com, visit our download section, and you have the teacher's guide there, free of charge for download. Please, you can download as many as you can. Download and share with your colleague teachers, share with your colleague school owners, because it is very important. I'll tell you the reasons why our facilitators guides are important very soon. So please visit nnfesquire.com. You have access to our free downloadable teacher's guides. You can also confirm our approval on the NACA website, confirm whether our resources are truly approved. Visit the NACA website for that confirmation. We are the only publishing firm that provides free ebooks to our clients. When you buy our learners' books, open inside the front cover, we have a special code and a special procedure that guides learners to download the e-book version of the learner's books. So please take note of this. Those who are using our resources, those who are not using today, I'm here to expose you to why you have to use the Essential series. I want to briefly introduce the resources we have right from the preschool level to the JHS level to our school owners so that we can take informed decisions when this conference is over. We have what we call the Montessori series. These are the best-selling preschool books in the country currently. Our resources are not used only in Ghana. Schools in Benin, in Liberia, and other African countries are using our Montessori series. We have Essential Montessori numeracy skills for nursery 1 all the way to KG2. We also have literacy skills from nursery 1 to KG2 available for your use. We also have writing skills that helps learners develop the needed writing that they need to acquire. We also have natural science skills from nursery 1 all the way to KG2. We have environmental studies, the same range. We have phonics for nursery 1 to KG2. We released phonics nursery 1 and nursery 2 in January. In September, we will have KG1 and KG2 available. And the last in the list is the new one that we are releasing this year. That is Montessori English Reading and Comprehension. This is only for KG1 and KG2. So for the past 5 or 10 years, people have been engaging me and asking whether we have comprehension books for preschool. Now we have released something for you, and I know your problems have been solved. Let me take you through our resources in the primary section, or the KG NACA section first, before I move on to the primary section. We have 4 key areas as required by the NACA standard-based curriculum, and the KG books are based on theme. They are theme-based. So you see similar topics running through. For example, my family, my home, you can see it in language and literacy, see it in creative art, and see it in our world, our people. So we have language and literacy for KG1 and 2. That is purely workbook for the learners to use. We also have the teacher's guides available, downloadable online, and we have hard copies that you can purchase. We have essential mathematics for KG1 and KG2 as well, comes with it teacher's guides. We have our world and our people for KG1 and KG2, also with it teacher's guides. And then we have, last but not the least, creative arts for kindergarten 1 and kindergarten 2. Now to our standard-based curriculum, we have 7 subject areas. The first 3, English, maths, and science. The next, we have history and our world, our people. These 5 subject areas, science, maths, English, history, our world, our people, have corresponding workbooks. Apart from the teacher's guides that you can download online, we have corresponding workbooks. I'll give a little insight on the workbooks shortly. And then we have computing and French for upper primary. Computing starts from primary 4. In actual fact, computing for lower primary is part of our world, our people. So the 5th strand, strand 5, deals with computing for the lower primary 1, 2, and 3. So if you have our world, our people resources, if you open to strand 5, you have all the information that the learners need for computing in the lower primary section. Let me also expose you to our common core program resources. We have 8 of them. We have English language, we have mathematics, we have science, we have social studies, we have career technology, we have computing, we have religious and moral education, and French. So we have covered all the areas that you need. The only resources we don't have for JHS is basically the languages. That is the local languages. So we have this from basic 7 to 9. We released 4 of these in January. This year we are adding the other 4, so we have the full complement of our common core resources for use by your learners. So take note that when you order these resources and we bring them to you, make sure your facilitators have downloaded the teacher's guides that they can use in teaching these lessons. We also have our teacher's guides available on pen drives for free. So when we come to your schools, you can inquire from us. We can give you a copy and you can share with your teachers as well. Online participants, you also should take note of this. when you make your request and we bring you your books, please ask that we provide you with a free pen drive that contains the essential teacher's guides, or you get to download them online. So these are the resources we have. Now, I mentioned earlier on that 5 of our primary resources comes with workbooks. That is English, Math, Science, History, and Our World, Our People. What do we get in our workbooks? We have additional assessment tasks for consolidating concepts learned in the learners' books. So we have provided a lot of content in our learners' books. We have not ended there. Apart from the content we have that gives you information, that provides activities, that provides assessment, we have also provided special workbooks. So the workbooks, right from page 1 to the end of the page, it's full of activities, it's full of practices, it's full of assessments. So all that the learners are expected to do is that when they finish a particular lesson in the learner's book, the facilitator leads them or directs them into the workbook to do some further activities to consolidate what they have learned in the learner's book. So it is full of practice. We have what we call differentiated exercises. We have different group of persons in our classrooms. We have people who are very good visually. We have people who can talk. We have people who can converse. We have people who are also good at puzzles writing. So we have provided different forms of assessment in the workbooks where you can use to assess the different classes of people you have in your classroom. So our assessments are not just a wholesome assessment. We have variations so that everybody's need will be met in the classroom. We also have homeworks on real-life situations. So is it maths that you are going through? Are you talking about numbers? Are you talking about groupings? So there are activities or homework activities that requires learners to give answers right from their home. So check your fridge or check your sitting room. How many chairs do you have there? How many seats do you have there? So when learners bring answers to you, you expect that the answers should vary. These are not straightforward answers. Whatever they learn in the classroom or whatever they see in their surroundings, they are supposed to apply them. So we make sure that we have homeworks on real-life situations. When you were coming to school this morning, what did you see on your way? When you are talking about living things and non-living things. When we are talking about sources of water, we say in your area, mention any one source of water. So you expect that learners will bring you different answers. The answer should not be just straightforward. So all these practice and activities that we have in our learner's book and our workbook, make sure that the learning behaviors as required by the standard-based curriculum are developed in our learners. So the knowledge they need to acquire, our resources are providing them that knowledge. The understanding they need to get, they are getting that understanding. And then they are able to apply this understanding, doing some works in the workbook. And then as they engage themselves in society, they are able to analyze situations within their environment in the classroom. They synthesize them and then they evaluate. And at the end of the day, they become creative and critical thinkers. What more do you need? Our resources make sure that the learners are equipped to be critical thinkers, to affect the society as a whole, and to change society. So, in the short presentation that I've done so far, you can agree with me that our resources are full of practice, practice, practice. When you greet GNAPS, your response is what? So the welfare of the child is supreme for you. So I want to ask two of us, what do you expect your learners to achieve at the end of the time they run through your institution? I want two responses. What do you expect your learners to acquire or to achieve at the end of the time they spend in your classroom? There's a gentleman here. Please, do we have the mic?
To exhibit the core competencies.
It says for them to exhibit the core competencies. Thank you very much. Any other?
My expectation is that my child or my learner should be able to fit into any environment in which he or she finds himself or herself.
Thank you very much. This is for you, for your contribution. Please give this to my friend. Thank you very much. So he says for them to develop the necessary core competencies. And the other lady said that for them to fit into the society very well. So therefore, your learners need the right resources for them to achieve this. So we have made sure that we have provided this for them. I'm going to take you through some features of our resources for us to all find out whether at the end of the day, if learners use our resources, whether they will be able to develop the core competencies and whether they will be able to fit into society. So we said that we have a lot of exercises, what we call practice. If I say essential, please say practice, practice, practice. Essential. Essential. Our online participants, I want you to type practice, 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 and send to us so that we know that you are with us. All right. Shall we continue? Now our learners' books. What do our learners' books offer us? Our learners' book contains variety of learning activities. I think I've talked about this. We have a lot of work examples. So we have what we call scaffolding. Scaffolding are, we see scaffold when we are doing construction. It helps the workers to move to higher heights. So we have scaffolds, which are in forms of examples in our learners' books and our workbooks. So learners are exposed to different forms of examples for them to be able to achieve the learning objective. We also have assessment exercises. In the new curriculum, assessment takes place right from the beginning of the lesson and to the end of the lesson. When we were in school, we only go through assessments at the end of the lesson or sometimes even at the end of the term. But now learning has changed. So NNF Esquire Limited has made sure that the different forms of assessment that is needed right from the beginning, assessment of learning, diagnosis assessment, and all summative assessment are provided in our learners' book. So at the beginning of the lesson, there are questions to activate prior knowledge of the learners before even the lesson begins. For example, in our maths books, we have what we call the find out. So the find out engages the learners, and then you are able to understand the ideas they share before you even begin the lesson. We have realistic illustrations in our books. When you open our English learners' books, we open our history books, you are seeing real pictures. You are seeing colorful pictures that relate to the subjects that they are learning. So the learners at their tender age are able to relate the pictures to the content in the resources. We have knowledge reinforcement. We also offer problem-solving skills. We have activities, we have tips, we have ideas, we have fun facts that exposes the learners to different ideas so that they can be problem solvers. We want to raise people who will solve Ghana's problems. We want to raise people who will solve our society problems. How do they gain these ideas? These are core competencies that my brother talked about that they want their learners to what? To acquire. And our resources have them available for use. We have support for learning new concepts. So, for example, in the maths curriculum, there are different new techniques of teaching. So, multiplication, addition, and all these things have changed. You have the 100 numeral chart. So, we have taught you how to use the 100 numeral chart to simply do additions, jumping forward or moving backwards. How to do additions in tens, how to do additions moving to the right, moving to the back, moving to the top and down. So, all these forms of strategies are captured in our learners' books. We have them for you. We have challenging projects that offer opportunities to develop the K-SAVE. K-SAVE is knowledge, skills, attitude, values, and ethics. So our resources provide the learners the ability to gain the necessary knowledge, the competency skills they need to develop, the attitudes and values they need to exhibit in the society, and then they become critical thinkers as well. And they develop the necessary core competencies. Our activities make sure there are engagements. Communication is taken care of. Tolerance is taken care of. Making sure that teamwork is taken care of. So we have all this in our learner's book. Online participants, I hope you are with us. Continue following this. We also have revision and assessment exercises to facilitate evaluation of the learner's progress. So at the end of a sub-strand, there is a revision exercise. At the end of the strand, there is a revision exercise. Right in the teacher's handbook or the facilitator's guides, there are a lot of different forms of evaluation exercises to engage with the learners. We also have activities and exercises and practices that make sure that everybody in the classroom is taken care of. So, for example, in an activity in the English book, we say, read through this and share your idea with a friend. After that, have a group discussion, and then the teacher will take you through a whole class activity. So we make sure that we take care of an individual, we take care of pair works, we take care of group works, we take care of a whole class activity. So when my colleague comes, Paul comes, he's going to talk about how this individual, pair, and group works helps in classroom management. So I want you to just keep expecting something great from Paul when he comes. So we make sure that individuals are taken care of. We make sure that we are not doing just individual learning, where you come into the classroom, you come and do your own thing, face your teacher and go away. No. Teaching and learning has changed, and we are making sure that we are providing all that. We are in a modern world, and therefore our resources provide the needed ICT resources that we need. We have provided ICT boxes in our learners' books. We have provided links in the books. So when you have the e-book version of our learner's book, when you click the link, it takes you to either a video or a page where you see what we have there. We have special QR codes in our learner's books. These are only unique in our English learner's book from primary 1 to primary 6. What it does is that when you scan the QR code, it moves you direct to either a YouTube video on the subject or on the lesson you are going through, or it takes you to a page where you read. So just last week when I was doing some assessments on these QR codes in our upper primary English book, I opened to a page when we were talking about some of the grammar activities. And I tell you, the kind of information we have loaded in the QR code for your learners will make learning very, very effective. School leaders, teachers following us online, and other school leaders online. With what I have exposed you to, if you are here and you have not chosen Essential Series, I'm sure you are lagging behind. And I entreat you that at the end of this conference, just move to the stand there, look at the resources physically, assess them physically, compare them to what you have heard here, and then take your decisions. Because we have what makes learners become successful. We have what makes learners become unique. They develop the necessary core competencies, and they will affect our society. My director talked about our facilitators guide, and he told you that make sure your facilitators are using them. Facilitators online, make sure you are using the NNF free downloadable teachers guides. Let me take you through some key features that our teachers guides provide for us. If you are a teacher here or if you are a school leader here, we have made sure that we are provided with clear teaching guidelines. Clear guidelines to facilitate lessons. So I'm using teacher and facilitator concurrently. They mean the same thing. So who is a facilitator? Who is a teacher? A teacher guides, a teacher directs, a teacher inspires. So we have provided guidelines for the teacher to guide the learners. Learning in the current 21st century has changed. The focus is now not on the teacher, but now on the learners. So we have provided the guidelines for teachers to use to make sure that they are taking their learners through the right things. we are giving clear directives on activities and lessons. So where you are supposed to put the pupil or the learners in groups, where you are supposed to let them do group works, where they are supposed to do pair work, where they are supposed to do individual activities, we are giving you the clear guidelines. So when you check our history and our English learners books, we have some key symbols we use to identify individual pair work and group work. For individual work, you see one head. For pair, you see two heads. For group activities, you see three. And then for classroom activities, you see a teacher standing in front of 4 learners. So that is how you differentiate between individual, pair, group, and classroom activities. We have additional recommended activities for better transfer of knowledge. We have a lot of activities, we have a lot of practices in our learners' books. We have a lot in our workbook. We didn't end there. Our authors and our editors make sure that they added more activities for the teachers, for the facilitator to have a lot of activities to give the teachers, the learners, so that learning will be successful. We have extra teaching suggestions and many teaching resources. When you open our teacher's guides, there are columns that are in colored. The history has a blue background, the science has an orange background, the maths has a light green background. So in this background columns of our teacher's guides, the online participants, if you can open to any of the teacher's guides, you see that we have listed some resources for use per lesson. So take note of these, school leaders. Let your teachers know that they are supposed to prepare ahead of the lesson with the teacher's guides so that they know the necessary resources we have recommended for every lesson before they even get into the classroom. Because for some of the lessons, we have provided them with videos, we have provided them with informations. So they are supposed to read, they are supposed to watch, and get more understanding of the lesson before they even come to the classroom. They are not supposed to come to the classroom before they start looking at the teacher's guides. We have also given helpful links to acquire additional information, knowledge online to guide learners. These helpful links are available for your teachers' use. We have made sure that all the core competencies have been integrated in our lessons. So, is the activity building communication? Is the activity building teamwork? We have listed them. So at the end of the lesson, whatever competencies they are supposed to build, we have given that one to you. We have made sure that we have carried all the indicators as required by the curriculum. Different forms of assessment, I've talked about this one. So if you have a learner that is a little slow, we have activities that will help the learner understand the lesson. If you have those that are smart, those that are very excellent, and they are always ahead of their other peers, we have activities that you can give to them to always keep them engaged so that you can spend time for all the other learners. We also have step-by-step guidelines for facilitating learning. We provide you with extensive activities to also make sure that all learners are taken care of in the classroom. We have provided responses to all activities, all assessments, all exercises in the learners' books and the workbooks as well. Relevant class exercises, homework activities I mentioned earlier on to consolidate and extend the skills needed. We have what we call the free online CDs. It's linked to the computing books. So we have PowerPoint presentations that the facilitator can use to facilitate lessons. We have worksheets that the facilitator can print out and use as forms of assessment for the teachers. We are privileged to inform you that we offer free capacity building for your teachers and your school leaders as well. So we are accredited by NTC to offer this training. We have schools to choose the preferred models from the 10 models that we have for the training. We have specific curriculum issues that we address when we meet your facilitators. Practicality of relevant aspect of curriculum is treated in our resources and demonstrated for maximum benefits. So the practicality of life, the practicality of what is expected in a curriculum is taken care of participants are awarded certificates that is on request when they need it. So these are 10 models we have for the schools. We have aspects of the standard-based curriculum that we take you through. We have learner-centered pedagogy and assessment. We also have the Common Core program. So if you want training on the Common Core program, we are ready to offer you that training. Online participants, please take note of this. We also have differentiation and scaffolding. We have developing the 6 core competencies in learners, what the facilitators are supposed to do to develop the 6 core competencies in their learners. We also have digital literacy. I mentioned our ebook, the free ebooks that comes with our learners' books. We have a training on that. And we also have the integration of ICT tools in learning and teaching. If you have ICT facilities in your schools, we have tools and we have a lot of wonderful tools and resources that you can use to integrate in your teaching. Effective management of a learner-centered classroom is one of our models. And then what we are going through today that my colleague will also take us through is connecting curriculum, pedagogy, and learning experiences. So these are the 10 key models we have. So in summary, our resources guarantee success through learner-centered pedagogy. The new curriculum is saying that learning is now learner-centered. It is not focused on the facilitator. So we have that covered. Differentiation and scaffolding strategies are taken care of in our resources. Variety of learning and teaching methods are taken care of. We have individual, group, and collaborative learning approaches that are taken care of in our resources. And then appropriate learning centers and the integration of ICT tools. Make sure that we have a successful classroom and end of engagements. So in brief, what benefits do we derive when we use Essential Series? If you are here and you are not using Essential Series, please take a look at another opportunity available to you today so that you start using Essential Series. Benefits of our resources. Benefits to the learner. The learners develop the needed competencies. The needed learning experiences are exposed to them. They have knowledge, they have skills, they have attitudes, the right attitudes and the right values. They are developing them. And then what benefits do our parents derive from the uses of the NNF Essential Series? They observe their children. They observe that their children are exhibiting the learning experiences that they have acquired using the Essential Series. And then they have value for their money. If they pay a lot for you to admit their children, their awards, at the end of the day, when your school is using Essential Series, the parents see the benefits they get from that. What benefits do we derive as schools? One, you offer quality education because you are using quality resources. And also you have healthy stakeholder engagements. So the use of our resources exposes the learners to a lot of good things. So parents are rushing to bring their children to you because they know that you are using Essential Series. Because a school owner drove all the way to our office and told me that my teachers and some parents are saying that it is essential they want to use. So I have to drive all the way from my place to come to you to come and get Essential Series. You also have return on investment to school owners. And then to the society and to the nation, we have prosperous and enlightened society. We have responsible citizenship, and then we have national development. Because these learners, when they get the needed core competencies, they become useful to the society, they become problem solvers, and then they become very successful. And then the nation as a whole develops. So I want to entreat you, if you are not using Essential Series, school owners online, facilitators online, please get your facilitator school owners to download the teacher's guides. Teachers, please download the teacher's guides. Start using them now. Make a decision on our resources. Get to us after this conference and take a decision. Thank you very much for taking care of us. I'm grateful.